Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Dolapo and I film about fully funded scholarships for international students. So have a look through my page, see all the videos about fully funded scholarship that I have shared. So I'm going to be starting something different, a new series that I've called the Masters series. Now, one of my wonderful subscribers who is also a member of our Telegram community, by the way, if you are yet to join our Telegram community, the link is in the description page or in the description section of this YouTube video. So have a look and click on that link to join our Telegram community where I share various fully funded scholarships and also answer any questions that people may have about applying for fully funded scholarships. So on that Telegram community page, a wonderful subscriber had suggested, oh, Dolapo, I would love for you to please share your experience with your master's, doing a master's, why you did a master's, and your experience doing a master's in public health as well. And I thought, that's a great idea. So I started off on LinkedIn. So I already have a wonderful LinkedIn community as well, who are actually the ones to first of all get this series on why you should do a master's and the benefits of doing a master's program. Now, why is this important? Because many people have asked, should I actually do a master's? Why should I do a master's? Do I need a master's? And these are questions that many people are asking. And I felt, or I believe that it will be necessary to start a series where I talk about doing a master's, the benefits of doing a master's based on my own personal experiences and some of the advice I would give as well if you're considering doing a master's. So let's start. So for many of you that don't know, I studied a master's program in public health and international development from the University of Sheffield. I started my master's in 2022, September 2022, and I graduated in January 2024, but the course had ended in September 2023. So it was a one-year master's degree on a fully funded scholarship, and that was at the University of Sheffield in the United Kingdom. Now, many people think about, just doing a master's because they might want to travel out. People have their different reasons for doing a master's, but let me tell you my own reason for doing a master's, and maybe you'll then be able to see if it's something you relate with, or maybe you can pick up some, encouragement or some advice from my personal experience. Now, let's go back to 2021, 2022. Now, when I just graduated from medical school in Russia, my first initial, step to take was I just want to jackpot. Now, for those that don't know what jackpot means basically you just want to leave your country and go abroad. So when I had gone back to Nigeria, I just come from abroad, going back to Nigeria, and I just wanted to go back abroad again. I just felt like, okay, I can't stay here. I want to go abroad. And I remember applying for scholarships then, it wasn't forthcoming. I applied for masters, I applied for PhD, it wasn't forthcoming. And you know what? I am so glad that God didn't open that door at that time, because my reason for going to do a master's at that time wasn't valid enough. Now, after trying for so long, I decided to, okay, I'm here in this country now, which is when I was in Nigeria. And I said, okay, it's time for me to focus and think about what the next step is. Okay, master's is not forthcoming. Scholarship is not forthcoming. What else can I do? So that was when I decided to take my medical license exams, and I wrote that. I passed to the glory of God, and then I was able to start my medical internship. And even starting that internship that year was just honestly a miracle. Now, when I started my internship, and now a medical internship is more like a training program for like junior doctors. When you first graduate from medical school, you do like an internship year. For some countries, it's 2 years. For some countries, it's 1 year. For some countries, it could be more. So it really depends on different countries. But in Nigeria, you do an internship for 1 year, and then you go on to do your youth service, which accounts for like your second year of like a medical training. So when I started this internship, you would rotate to different specialties. And I just noticed that there was a consistency in, some issues that I was seeing. So for example, I would see that, patients would come in, very sick patients, very ill patients, but didn't have the funds to pay for their healthcare. Sometimes I would see whereby, there's not enough medical staff. So as a result of that, we the doctors working there, we are overworked, we are tired, and we can't even give our best in that moment. Now, I'm not trying to like talk bad about the system. I'm just trying to like I'm making a point here. I'm driving a point here. So essentially, it had its good times, it had its good moments, and honestly, many of the skills I've learned, many of the experiences that I've gained, that has really shaped my master's course and shaped me now, is based from those experiences I had as a junior doctor working in Nigeria. So it had its positive, impacts in my life and in my career, but there were also those negative aspects as well, where I saw and I was like, you know what, there is something flawed about the system. Like, why would patients need care? Like, why would someone have to die because they don't have 1,000 naira? 1,000 naira is basically less than a pound, or even less than, maybe like 50p. And I'm like, why would someone die because they don't have 1,000 naira to pay? Why would someone die because they don't have 10,000 naira to pay for a drug? Why would someone come to the hospital late when they already gotten complications from their ailment because they didn't have the money to come to the hospital? So they went to like maybe a quack doctor or like a herbalist or something until the matter got worse. And then they come to the hospital and there's really nothing much that the doctors can do. And then the patient dies. So I was seeing some of these things and I was like, what is going on? Because you never really know what is happening until you're actually in the system. Or is it cases where as doctors we had to contribute money for patients because they needed healthcare and we could not just close. See, pray for your doctors. Or doctors are honestly God sent angels. Like, I remember those times, to the glory of God, not even trying to boast or anything. We will contribute money as doctors, myself and my colleagues, because we probably had a patient that the parents couldn't pay for healthcare. Probably the dad is maybe a bus driver, or the mom is not even working, and they have maybe 7 children and they can't even pay for just maybe paracetamol or something. So I saw cases like that, and I said, no, I can't continue in this kind of system and just fold my hands. I want to be able to do something about it. I want to be able to contribute to making things better. I know that I cannot turn things around in one day, and I know that it doesn't take just me, but I know that there's a significant contribution that I can make. Now, that was when I started to look into public health, because public health is looking at, okay, medicine looks at treating the problem. Public health thinks about, why did this problem happen in the first place? Could this problem have been avoided? Public health looks at, could this problem could it have been prevented? And that when I started to look at public health, because in my head I had so many questions that these are issues that honestly shouldn't even be happening if there were proper structures, proper systems in place. And that is, no country, no nation in the world has a perfect health system, but at least the bare minimum someone can receive is not to die because they don't have the money to pay for their health care, or because doctors are overworked and they have to transfer the patient dies on the way, or different reasons. This is human life. And so I thought, you know what, public health is probably something I need to go into. I want to study it. I want to understand how to improve systems. I want to understand how to make policies that improve systems. I want to understand how I can make a contribution. So not just complaining about the healthcare system, but actually driving change. Now, that was what motivated me to go to do a master's, because a master's I knew that would give me the experiences I need. It would give me the skills. It would give me the knowledge, because I knew nothing about public health before my master's. I just knew what public health, maybe the definition, but I wanted to be in that system. I wanted to understand. And I also wanted to do it in a country where I believe that the healthcare system may not be perfect, but at least there are some things that I can pick up from there. And then when the time comes, I will be able to impute that into my own country. And of course, like I said earlier, it doesn't take just only me. So I'm not coming as Superman or a superhero, but my own little contribution that I can make, at least I know I will be able to make that. So that when I started to look out for scholarships again. So remember, the first time I was looking out for scholarships, it wasn't for the right reason. I just wanted to leave the country. And I believe me, if I've gotten my master's scholarship then, I would have gone through that whole year of doing a master's and I wouldn't have gained anything at all, because I would have just relaxed and said, okay, I've gotten what I wanted. I'm now abroad. the masters, okay, it's fine, I'll just walk through it and all. But now I had the right reasons, I had the right motivation. At least from myself, I knew I had the right motivation. And so I started applying for the scholarships again. Now, of course, applying this time around was much easier because I'd applied before. I already kind of understood the system, how to apply, how to write a reference, how to write a scholarship essay. I'd already picked up some of those things. So I went back to my CVs, my scholarship essay, looked at what I did wrong, what I needed to improve. I wrote my IELTS, just basic things I needed to do to ensure that, okay, I had a higher chance of getting the scholarship this time around. Now, I started applying again, got a few rejections. But one thing I did discover that now when I was applying, I had enough experience, I had enough reason, I had enough why. Because many a time when you're applying for a master's, one of the things that you'll be asked, or one of the things that you're supposed to put, even if you're not asked, in your personal statement. So if you have watched my videos on how to write a personal statement and how to write a scholarship essays, which I will link here, so please go check them out, you will see that many a times I talking about your why. So why exactly do you want to study this master's? Why do you need this scholarship? And why did you choose this specific school or institution to study your master's in? Now, I had my valid why. Before, my why was probably, I could have forged that, I wanted to do that. But then the scholarship panel can read through it and say, this person has not given a solid why. But now I had worked in the healthcare system. I had seen firsthand health inequalities. I had seen firsthand, the issues that people are facing. And I had the motivation, I had the drive for change. So that was my why. I was now able to now write my why down, and that shined through my application. So when the scholarship came finally, I knew that, yes, this is it. The right time, the right moment, the right reason. So why have I shared this story to you guys is to let you guys understand that before you go into doing a master's, before you think about, okay, should I do a master's or not, ask yourself, what is my why? Because trust me, by the time you start a master's, and many people think that master's is just, we just go to master's, it's just like school. It's not just like school. You're going to be writing academic essays. You're going to be asked to do things that will stretch you. You're going to be asked to take on projects that you have never thought of before. Like in this master's series, I'm going to be talking about some of the benefits that I gained from doing a master's, and I'll be sharing some of the things that I learned, some of the skills I gained, some of the experiences, the traveling, the conferences, all of that I gained while doing a master's in public health and international development. So you're going to get more information about that, but it's important for you to think about your why. Think about what is your motivation, what is your drive. Some people do a master's because they want to add it to their CV, to make their CV look more solid. That's fine. Some people do a master's because they want to get more global opportunities, more networking. They want to meet new people. They want to be in a new environment, a new country, and that's fine as well. So whatever your why is, make sure that you know it, so that when things start to get tough in the middle of the masters, when you're asked to write 5,000 academic essays, you will not go back and start asking yourself, God, what did I get myself into? It is your why that will drive you. I remember those times when I would be in the library till like 11 p.m., 12 a.m., and I'm asking myself, why am I here? Why am I putting so much effort into this? And I remembered my why. My why was because I needed to get the skills. I needed to get this knowledge. I needed to get this experience because I know I have envisioned something bigger, what a contribution I need to make. So that is my why. That was my motivation. And I'm so glad because honestly, that master's gave me exactly what I needed. And I'm going to be sharing it in this series as well. So that is my encouragement for you guys today. So if you're out there wondering, why should I do a master's? The first thing I will ask you to ask yourself, or the first thing I will advise you to ask yourself is, 1, what is my motivation? 2, what problem do I want to solve? 3, what skills do I want to gain? What knowledge do I want to gain? What experience, what network do I want to gain? And 4, ask yourself this honest question. Am I really doing it because I want to grow, or because of the right reason, or because everyone else is doing it, or because I just want to leave the country? You need to be honest with yourself and ask yourself those questions. So guys, I hope that this video has kind of elaborated and maybe answered your question if you're ever thinking of why you should do a master's. But stay tuned to this channel. If you are yet to subscribe, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to be sharing more videos. Every week I'll be dropping new videos about my experience doing a master's and things that you can learn about doing a master's abroad, and the benefits and the skills that you can gain as well. So make sure that you turn on the notification bell and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. If you found this video useful as as well, please like this video and please comment as well. If you have done a master's before, or if you're currently doing a master's, please put a comment down in the comment section. What was your why? What was your motivation for doing your master? That would really help people as well who are thinking about doing their masters when they read through your comments. So I'll really be looking out for your comments as well. So please put a comment down why you want to do a master's, or if you have done a master's, what motivated you to do a master's. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.